You're now listening to a Press Play Network podcast.
And welcome to issue 100 Nerd Flow Podcast. This is Royalty. We got Tink, we got Young Babriario. Other two podcast mates, they somewhere. I don't know. Maybe they still recovering from Endgame. Probably curled up in a fetal position, trying to figure out life after watching this movie. So, before we get into things, I'm gonna say this multiple times because this is live on Facebook, and this is a warning. If you have not seen Endgame, you do not want to listen to this episode. If you are thinking about going to see Endgame tonight, tomorrow, next couple of days, first of all, what are you doing with your life that you haven't seen this yet? But that's a whole different subject. But this is a Press Play Network podcast. Please check out Three Kings, Hip Hop Rejects, Spitting Game, Revelations of the Throne. Got a lot of shows, a lot of bonus shows, all that good stuff. So make sure you go check that out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is how you get in contact with us. And on May 10th through the 12th, we will be at Comic Palooza. And on that Saturday, we will be podcasting live from Comic Palooza at 7 p.m. Central Time. So going to try to take it live from there, depending on how the Wi-Fi is. But if not, you can catch us on the download on all major podcast platforms. Of course, it's 2 as well. So if you can't be there, then you can always catch us on the download as y'all always do. So I'm going to repeat this one more time. I'm just trying to be nice. SPOILERCAST. Please do not listen to this issue if you have not seen the movie. That is my final warning. It is in big giant letters in the description of this live video. And it will be in big bold letter descriptions once this hits iTunes, Google, Anchor, all that good stuff. So if you get spoiled, that's your business. I feel sorry for you if you got spoiled. All right. So, let's see. Okay. Where do we start here? So the movie kicks off, right? Exactly what we thought it would, which was from the little teaser deal, with Tony and what's her name, Nebula, stuck on the ship after the event.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
It started off with Clint.
That's right. It did start off with Clint. It did start off with formerly known as Hawkeye, now known as Ronan.
Yeah. It started off with Clint, teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Uh-huh.
And she walked around the tree to get the arrow, and he turned and he was bending down because they was finna eat. He looked up, she gone, and he started calling her name. And then he looked back at the rest of his family, and they gone. And why did Thanos do that?
Exactly.
Well, he said he got rid of, half the population. So I mean,
he just don't know the monster he had created.
It's very true. He does not know the monster he created when he did that. A little bit of Easter egg from that one scene, though, that he does call his daughter Hawkeye.
Yes, he does that.
So we're going to talk about Easter eggs and all that stuff at the very end of, once we go through all the different stuff, the hot points within the movie and stuff like that. So, okay. So we got that. So we got that part. And then it goes into the very beginning with, like I said, with Tony and Nebula, still stuck on the ship, of course. As we saw in the trailer, we saw Tony kind of doing a video, a vlog to Pepper, for because he thought he was gonna die pretty much. So, because it was 22 days. He was 21 days out there, no food, no nothing. And you could really tell that he was freaking like getting real skinny. Like he was looking very anorexic in this scene in particular. So,
their brother was lost in space.
hell yeah, he was lost in space.
Just drifted.
Now, who all thought that he was about to die at the very beginning? that one little part where she said it.
I knew better. The reason I knew better is because he was in too many of the preview of the trailers. So,
well, let's just say this. Well,
I thought he was gonna drift away for like a split second.
Yeah,
Like, it was really, really close call.
It was close. That's what I knew he wasn't gonna die, but I thought he was gonna need reviving.
No, I'm sorry, I just didn't see that happening. I ain't
gonna lie, for a whole second I did. I was like, because the whole thing about them putting in false scenes and stuff like that, and what kind of spin it would have been to like have him die like in the first couple minutes of the movie, if there would have been.
I mean, like I really feel like looking at the trailers and then watching the movie, they didn't even put no false scenes in the trailer. I didn't see any. I can't recall any. Because even when I had
they left out like Tony out of the lineup when they were walking. They didn't show him, but it wasn't really a false. They just decided not to show him.
Yeah.
They showed Bruce. Bruce wasn't in none of the whole movie.
He wasn't in none of the trailers at all.
Well, yeah, that's about it because of the fact that they was trying to hide the Professor Hulk look.
Right.
But, Thor wasn't in there either. Now that I think about it.
No, they ain't want to show Fat Thor. But I mean, as far as like stuff that people was thinking was false, like I had saw in the trailer that her hair was back red, and I was saying something like that. People was thinking that was a false trailer. I'm like, why would they make a false trailer about her hair being red? And even when you watch it, it was a gradual change from blonde to red because her hair grew out, so the highlights, the what you call it, Tink. I'm tripping.
Come on, man, you know how hair do when you get your hair dyed.
He said,
yeah. Well, the dye, her hair grew and the natural color started showing.
The roots.
The roots. Yeah, that's man. Look, I don't worry about dyeing my hair. I just get it cut. I don't know.
But yeah, so we had that part. Let's see. I want to jump on the measure. I ain't trying to go like exact order, of course. Then after that, Captain Marvel showed up. There was like a light in the sky, of course. Something really bright that kind of like made him open his eyes, and it seemed like he was gonna fade away. But Captain Marvel showed up, basically carried the whole ship to Earth, pretty much. And landed in front of the what's the name? What do they call the? Is it Avengers Mansion? Is what it's called? That's pretty much what we can call it at this point.
I just call it
Avengers Headquarters.
Okay, yeah, Avengers Headquarters. Yeah, so she brought it there. Once they got Tony back up, and Tony was literally in the wheelchair at the time. So the callback in that scene, man, was like them pretty much still hashing out Civil War.
Yeah.
With him and Cap. Talking about, I told you this was going to happen. I was trying to put a suit of armor around the Earth, and you didn't let that happen. Blah 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 blah. So
he was right though. I mean, that's the whole. I believe
both of them
were
wrong.
Of Iron Man 3. I believe that was why.
Let's just litigate Civil War right quick, real fast.
He was traumatized from the get-go after New York, though. He was paranoid.
Both of them had post-traumatic, had PTSD. Cap and Tony.
Cap didn't trust the government, and Iron Man didn't want to have to deal with another large attack again on Earth. Right,
because if you recall, before the Avengers movie, Tony was like middle fingers up to the government.
Yeah.
Sure was, yep.
I mean, Iron Man 2, He called the senator an ass clown. Let's just put it out there. So his
And look how that turned out.
his PTSD was kicking in, but Cap PTSD because the government made Cap. So they both had PTSD from different things. So they just really met in the middle, and because Cap was trying to protect his best friend Bucky, and Tony would have been straight had it not been revealed that Bucky killed his parents.
Which was more orchestrated. It just happened somehow to happen that way. But Baron Zemo was kind of the one that kind of threw those pieces in there. He just so happened to have that happen.
Yeah, which is true. But I'm just, and he knew that was gonna throw a rift in between them. Mm-hmm. So just to litigate that, they both were wrong because if you working together with that's just like us. And we have disagreements about stuff. We don't let no outside force come in and tell us how it should be. We discuss that amongst ourselves, because when something from the outside comes in, that's how most groups, most teams, most anything gets dissolved.
Right.
If they not a part of the core group, then their opinions, their ideas, none of that matters. It's only the core group that should make all the decisions. Life's lesson, kids.
But yeah, man. So
they both were wrong because. Sorry.
No, I'm like, what happened there?
I'm trying to share with people.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man. So that happened. Then we also had. Then it came down. Let's fast forward a little bit. So they had conversations because it was like they were trying to construct a plan of trying to find Thanos, one trying to kind of track him down, try to find out where he is. They were actually able to locate him, but then before that, with Captain Marvel bursting on the scene in this particular scene, they were like, it wasn't like, where have you been? It's like we kind of like needed you if you're so powerful and all this stuff. So at that point, it was like there's more. Captain Marvel responded, there's more planets that don't have y'all that needs protected than here. So everybody just kind of like, I guess you got a point there.
Yeah. Which was like, okay. So let's just tackle this Captain Marvel thing right quick.
Okay.
They were showing her like she was like gonna be very, very significant in this movie.
Yeah, they kind of did, but with all the stuff we've seen that has been leaked from Endgame, and a lot of the scenes that kind of showed them back in New York and all that stuff, that kind of showed scenes from the first Avengers movie, we kind of saw that it was going to be their swan song to somewhat to an effect. So we kind of knew they were going to kind of be more prominent in the movie than anything. I think like I said, because a lot of people still talk down about the Captain Marvel movie. It can go either way with some people when it comes to the movie, but
still haven't seen it.
At the same time, it's just an origin movie. It's just to say, okay, this is where she came from, this is what she stands for, blah blah blah. That's it.
Some folks say, like some people I talk to though, they say it fill in some missing like plot holes throughout the whole franchise.
Okay,
is what the Captain Marvel movie does. Like it shows more information on the Tesseract and stuff like that.
Which a lot of movies that Marvel does, that some people that they don't try to kill themselves to go see, are typically the movies that kind of like fill in the blank, or either those movies kind of like they set up other stuff. Like I always say, Ultron. Much as people hate on Ultron movie, Ultron was a setup movie for a lot of stuff. That's how we got.
Yes, Age of Ultron, like Captain America picking up Thor's hammer.
Yep, that was the prelude. Yeah, the prelude to that. We'll get to that in a few. like other stuff, like of course that was kind of like the prelude to the Sokovia Accords, which also leads to Civil War and all that stuff. So Ultron set up a lot of stuff and introduced Claw, which was going to introduce Black Panther in Civil War, and he was going to translate over to Black Panther. So it sets up a lot of stuff. It gave a vision, so it set up a lot of stuff.
Ant-Man and Wasp set up, so all the movies, even as much as people dislike Iron Man 2 and 3, they have their place.
I like 2, but I hate 3. I don't like 1 that much.
But they have their place, though. Let's just be honest. Every movie in that universe has its place leading up to Infinity Wars and Endgame.
Other than fucking up Mandarin.
Yeah.
Other than what?
Other than fucking up Mandarin. Yeah, but we can move on.
Mandarin didn't count. He wasn't even a real villain.
He's out there somewhere, but anyway. But yeah, so we got that. Fast forward, they track down Thanos and they ambush him. What planet? I forgot what planet was he on. I don't remember the name of the planet. But they was able to track him down. Captain Marvel had him in the chokehold, and Thor walked up, and this time he aimed for the head and chopped his head off. Prior to that, he chopped his hand off too. But
but let's just go ahead and say they were asking what the Infinity Stones was because he had just used the stones again, and Thanos said he used the stones to destroy the stones. So they really pissed everybody out, thought he was lying, and Thor was like, "Enough of this." And yeah, Stormbreaker got some real blood.
Yeah. So to some people's to some people's reaction, I know when I was in the movie theaters, the reaction to that one scene was like, "You got what the heck?" And just like what the they just in the first probably not even 10 minutes of probably not even the first 10 minutes of the movie, they killed Thanos from the jump.
It was good 8 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, good 8 to 10 minutes. They killed Thanos in the first couple minutes. So, in y'all mind as a watcher, what was y'all thinking at that point in time? Like how does this movie progress any further? Did this or what is going on right now?
Man, it ain't crazy. We know we're too early for even though seeing something that dramatic, it ain't over. You have to process it in your head. Okay,
this is when my training as an anime specialist comes into play.
Where did you get this from, sir?
Oh man, it's 30 years of watching anime, especially this anime I'm finna bring up, the Dragon Ball Z series.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, let's translate this over. Everybody was dead in Trunks' timeline, except for Trunks and Bulma. Trunks traveled to a different timeline where everybody was alive. So when Thanos, us knowing from the jump that this is really pretty much going to be a time travel movie, them killing Thanos at the beginning of the movie wasn't a surprise to me. Why? Because if they can travel through time, so can he.
Yeah.
Didn't know how he was gonna do it.
So
my thought was he was gonna use the time stone too.
Yeah. So here's what I think. Okay, we're probably gonna be jumping around on this one because it's just so much. It's so much. It's 3 hours of a movie to kind of pack into this, typically hour show and stuff like that. So here's my theory because like I said, we're gonna jump around on this one. So your theory about the time, right? My theory, and I kind of told you guys I have a theory with Endgame. So my theory is so the planet he was on, right? The armor that was sent up there like a scarecrow, same armor at the very end of the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
With time, Thanos knew about that fight already. That I feel that the Thanos that they fought in Infinity War was a future version that knew about his fate already. Which is why he had to try to get his hands on the stones or something like that. But then also remember when they was on Titan and when Tony was fighting him, and he said he knew him, and there at no point did they ever meet one another before that moment.
See, so you jumping. See, this is why Thanos knew Stark from the battle at New York. That's why they knew each other, because Tony had never seen Thanos. Thanos had never seen Tony, but because of that battle, that's why they knew of each other. Loki had referenced Thanos in several occasions, and they found out about Thanos before then too. And because of Loki, when Thanos got a hold of Loki, when he went back and saw Thanos, that's how Thanos knew about the Avengers and Tony now.
I still remember the period that he kind of
I don't see that Thanos one like that Thanos that from Infinity Wars knew about the Avengers beforehand, because he knew they had the stones.
Yeah, he
knew Vision had a stone or whatnot. Right. But that Thanos didn't see his future, because had he seen his future, he would have prepared better and would have known that they was coming to kill him. He didn't. That arm up there is what he did, even in the comic book. And never in the comic book did they reference him knowing about his future. It was just the Easter egg referencing back to the comic book, because he did that when he went to the planet to keep the birds and the crow and the birds away from. He was farming, growing his own food, so he just did that to scare things that'll mess with his crops, like a scarecrow. Yeah. So that's all that was. He absolutely didn't know his future. The only Thanos that knew their future was the Thanos that saw it through old girl Nebula's vision. That's
2014.
Yeah.
Right. That's the Thanos that knew his future. And with them being in different time tangents, that Thanos, just because 2014 Thanos found out his future, don't mean that future Thanos that 2018 Thanos would have known his future, because it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
They're basically in different time tangents, meaning different dimensions. So that means there was two separate Thanoses.
Okay. Let's see here. Then we got let's see, where were we?
Just to clarify that for y'all, the stuff they were saying in Endgame about Back to the Future and stuff like that, they were right. It doesn't work like that. Well, at least in their universe, it doesn't work like that. Back to the Future, may work like that.
We're going to get to that later. I got a theory that I want to bring up to y'all about that.
Okay. All right. Somebody tell me where I'm at, because I'm like, let's see.
I honestly like the fact that they took the Dragon Ball Z standard of how time travel works. I like that they did that, because it's more complicated to deal with than not just basically running into yourself or something like that. You can't do that, because there was no way they were going to avoid their past selves at that during the points where they went to. It was no way it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see here. Then sorry, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to visualize what happened after. Okay, well, after they took 5 years.
I believe we get the title sequence.
Yeah, we get the flash forward of 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I missed the part with the what type of group? What do you call it? I missed that part, because I kind of saw part of it, and I had an issue at it.
When Steve talks to the group.
Yeah. I missed that part.
And you get a cameo of Russo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's last thing I saw when I walked out for a second.
Oh, you had to walk out?
Yeah, I had to take an emergency phone call on that one. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, so we got that part, and then so everybody was pretty much, they were kind of just trying to move forward, but it was hard to move forward with with the people that they lost that were like snapped away from Infinity War. And so who was it? Ant-Man finally got out of the freaking what's it called? I'm drawing a blank. Somebody help me.
Oh, the quantum realm.
Yeah, I couldn't even think of it.
Basically, by sheer plum luck, He got out of
pretty
quantum
much.
Pretty much.
because of a rat.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he got out of the quantum realm. Come to find out, he had no clue what had happened. Was trying to find out how many years had passed. Figured out that it was 5 years that passed. So he went to go. Of course, he went to go try to go see his daughter and all that stuff. You know, she's older. Also known as stature, but I'll get to that later.
But okay, another thing was that the 5 years he was in there, it also took him was really what, like
5 hours.
5 hours.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
on the whole 5
Hours.
hours in his. In his
Anybody
in his
noticed
mind.
that the storage unit? They said the storage unit was labeled 616.
The who?
Yeah, the storage unit number. The storage unit number was a reference to the universe, the Marvel universe that they're in right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Didn't catch that one.
And here's another. I like the reason. Another thing I picked up about the quantum realm. There's also another reference that I tied to Dragon Ball Z, because the way he explained time in the quantum realm is the way they explain time in the hyperbolic time chamber.
So
Don't mind me. I'm just sorry. Favorite anime of all times, and I'm just saying this was probably one of the greatest movies of all time, so I gotta make the connections.
no, you're making connection because if you think about it, it's a paradox. So I guess we can go ahead and like kind of get the time traveling thing out the way. So like think about it, they go into the past, so anything they do, like any of the events that they encounter, like it doesn't really affect them because they went through it.
Yeah, because the way it is, it's like it's different dimensions. The way they explain the time is different dimensions. What you do in your dimension doesn't affect the next dimension. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So just because
it's not like in
Back to the
DC
Future theory.
how time works in DC when Flashpoint and Paradox, theirs work very different. Like you can't do anything; it'll mess up it'll alter the entire timeline.
basically the Back to the Future theory, like how Marty couldn't let his dad and mom know that he was himself, who he was, or nothing. He couldn't really. The only good thing that happened with Marty talking to somebody he knew in the past was it prepared Doc Brown not to die. If you ain't seen Back to the Future in a long time, you're probably gonna be lost by what I was saying. But DC got the Back to the Future theory. Marvel has kind of like the Dragon Ball Z theory when it comes to time travel.
Yeah. All right. So they go through the entire thing with so Tony with all of this, them trying to with Ant-Man coming back saying that it's possible to get everybody back because he wants to get what's your face back, his girlfriend back, because she got lost in the snap as well, and Wasp, yeah. I wanted to say her real name, but I couldn't think of it. But then with that, they were trying to come up with a way. Everybody was thinking Ant-Man was crazy of trying to. He has a theory of how to possibly get them back. So instead, they go to Tony. Tony shoots them down. Then they go to
PTSD. Tony shoots them down.
Okay, PTSD. So that's gonna be
Well, no, not only PTSD. I mean, Tony moved on. Like,
he moved on, but
good.
he moved on. He actually won. Tony won basically in his timeline.
Yeah,
he got a chance to do everything he wanted to do, but he still had PTSD because he was afraid if he goes back into battle, he gonna lose everything.
Yep.
PTSD, Tony.
Yeah. So then they went to what was now known as Professor Hulk because
that shocked the crap out of me. I did not see that one coming.
Let me get this out the way.
I'm
I didn't like Professor Hulk.
Wow. You know what? I like Professor Hulk.
No, because I was pretty much through. I was pretty much through with him when they went back to New York City. Oh, and Hulk had right after Cap said Hulk smash had when it started smashing, and Bruce ripped off his shirt and was like, I'm like, really, dude?
We'll stop moving. It started. You just kind of like playfully trying to move a car and bash a car. Like
he was almost useless, man. At the beginning of the movie, he was just pretty almost useless.
Yeah, he was more of a.
He was more Bruce with the Hulk body.
Yep, pretty much. Yep, that's pretty much it. Yeah, because people don't know the different version of the Hulk. The Hulk that we've been getting the entire time was Savage Hulk. That's the version we've kind of always known and only known. And so this is like the first time that a movie actually touches on this different version of the Hulk, which is known as Professor Hulk. So that's what we got. And
even in the comic book, Professor Hulk was more savage than this Hulk was.
Yeah, it probably just takes the moments to bring it out a little bit more than normal. Because regular Hulk is like anything to get him out. Come on, they made this, but when they fast forward, they was like, nope, bro, you gotta take the stairs.
I can honestly say regular Hulk wouldn't have been able to put the gauntlet on, but regular Hulk, because they made. Well, we'll get to it. I'll let you.
Let's rewind back to New Asgard.
Oh, that's right. New Asgard. Where the hell? I don't even know where the hell that was. Where were they? Like, where was New Asgard? I did not recognize.
New Asgard was back over in the name of the town is where it's from the first Thor. They're in their town in the first Thor also.
Oh, that's right. That's where his father went to die. Right. It was like near there, I think.
It was near the. It was near there in Ragnarok, because he died in Ragnarok.
Right.
Right. Yeah, but they also went to that town in the first Thor movie also.
Yeah, I just don't know the name of it, but yeah. So then we got the shock of the movie. Not one of the shocks of the movie. We got Fat Thor, which was just. Oh man, that's one thing.
Okay, tell me this. Y'all was hoping when he actually kicked in that he was just gonna turn back into his regular self, wasn't it?
That's what I thought too, dude. I really did.
I thought some lightning was gonna strike him, and his whole uniform and everything was gonna come on, and he was gonna be back slim and everything. No, they braided up this fool's beard.
And I even watched in the final fight. I'm like literally like watching close. I'm like, okay, did he slim up when the lightning hit? No.
No.
Oh,
he did steal Munir from that timeline though. And that's why when Cap went back, he returned Munir to that time. Because I was
meow.
The hammer.
It's like
Mjolnir. Yeah.
Meow meow. It's like meow meow.
But yeah, so we had that part with him freaking threatening somebody on Fortnite, which was very hilarious actually.
Yes, it was. And you know what? I was thinking to myself, yeah, he sounds like how I would sound.
Like so many questions had been answered from just that one scene. Like, oh, there's Valkyrie. I wonder where she was the whole time when she was going down.
Yeah, but that was one of the things he wanted to do is go and get everybody that was left behind after Thanos attacked them, all the other Asgardians.
Yeah, It's basically new Asgard, pretty much. All right.
Okay, they was in Norway.
Okay. All right. That's what I was I was kind of thinking because that's kind of what
I was trying to find the name of the city, but I knew it was Norway because that's where most Viking legends are.
Yeah, exactly. It's based off of kind of so kind of. All right, then okay, we got to speed this up a little bit. So with that being said, with the whole thing with time, they figured out how to basically go through time, but also with Tony was able to create a device to allow them to go to a certain point in time. Well, not really be a point in time, but how to come back, I think, is what the device, what he had, allows them to do, right? Is that right? The things they had on their hands?
The device.
That
was kind of like time GPSs.
Yeah, so allowed them to come back. So, fast forward, whole crew gets together. They pretty much get the crew back together. Still, pretty much the beef between Iron Man and Captain America, they kind of like squashed that, and they want to get everybody back. And so they still split up with 3 different teams and go into 3 separate timelines. They came to the realization that 3 of the stones were in New York at one time period. 2 were at I think it was like Nowhere, and I forgot the other planet.
All right, so it was like this. 3. It was 3 in New York. Mm-hmm. 1 was on the planet that
where the Soul Stone is. Yeah.
Yeah. What he said. And the planet, and they could get that one at the same time when Quill was getting the stone out the planet. He got it from. So they didn't have to go to different time tangents to get that stone.
Right.
But explain the rules though. Like when Hulk went to tried to go to the Sanctum to get the time stone, you didn't realize that Stephen Strange had not yet become Doctor Strange. But did you, man? It was so messed up when you find out that the Grand Master was already in New York that whole time.
Yeah, she told him
you're doing the fight the whole freaking time. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like you, 5 years too early.
He in surgery down the street.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
It really makes you think though, like when they started talking about the time and showing different years, you like, dang, that seemed like that was a long time ago.
Yeah, 2012, 2014. It's been like a super long time
crazy.
ago. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
it's about to be 2020.
Mm-hmm. So the Grandmaster, so she explained the whole thing with the Infinity Stones, saying why she couldn't give up hers because of she was sworn to protect the Earth, protect the realm, but then also said that Doctor Strange actually gave his up, and that part there the Grandmaster kind of knew that there had to be a reason why he gave it up. And so we got into the whole explanation about time and all that.
Man, the look on her face was everything.
She was like, "What did you say?"
Exactly.
What?
And she was like, he's supposed to be the best of all of us. That's why she went on and gave him the stone. He's supposed to be the greatest wizard of all of them. So, which is another reference to the comic book. So.
Yeah, so and
that
then
was
the sorcerer.
He's
Supreme. Supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Yes, he's the greatest sorcerer to Earth ever.
To Earth. That's crazy.
Okay, so
his origin story doesn't say it, but
yeah, I mean, I kind of felt that way too when I saw Doctor Strange, but I was like, I got to give him a chance. Just an origin story. He don't know how to use his power to his full potential yet, but I do expect after all this crap he's been through with Infinity War and Endgame. Oh, he better be. He better have his A game on the Doctor Strange too.
But you can tell. But you can literally tell in between the Doctor Strange movie and Infinity Wars that he had been getting acclimated to his powers, because in Endgame when they come back, he basically God for a little while.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, it's very much so, especially that New York fight in the Infinity War.
ain't no Thanos wins if Strange don't come back. Put it that way.
Yeah, true that. I know we skipped a bunch. We skipped a bunch of parts as far as like what happened in the different timelines. I'll save some stuff.
Let's go and get to these deaths, man.
Okay, so deaths. How many of y'all? Who did y'all think was gonna die to give themselves up for the Soul Stone? We thought it was gonna be Hawkeye. I thought it was gonna be Black Widow.
First of all,
I thought it was gonna be Black Widow. I knew it was gonna be Black Widow as soon as they got on the planet. I'm like, damn, her movie is a prequel. She really has no other reason.
Yeah, her movie is a prequel.
Oh crap, she finna die.
But I was
she
thinking
is about to die.
But before I went and saw the movie, the people I was expecting to die was Tony and Cap. Them the only two I was really expecting to die.
That's
what a lot
true.
Of people thought. Yeah,
that's true. I thought it was going to be between them two. I really did. But yeah, they caught me off guard with that.
And I knew Hawkeye wasn't gonna die purely because this boy was not in Infinity War, and y'all not gonna bring him back just to kill him.
Kill him.
People have just been hella pissed off just because like you brought him back and then you killed him. So I knew they weren't gonna do that.
Yeah, man, it was sad though, cause I'm thinking like the whole while him, Nat, and Clint going at it about who gonna throw themselves off who gonna kill themselves. It's just like, oh man, oh shit, Clint went on and did it. He got her. No, she got him. Oh no, he got her again.
And then they on the cliff.
Fatality.
It's just, they really played us.
Oh, another Easter egg when Red Skull tells Nat her father's name in the comic book. That's the guy that adopts her after her family dies in an apartment fire.
Okay.
He was a Russian officer in the Soviet Union.
Okay.
And she said she didn't know her father's name. Like they didn't say her birth father's name. They said the guy's name that adopted her.
So here's the question.
She took it as her birth father because in the first Avengers they said she was raised by the Russian government.
So here's a question. So being that people done came to this planet twice already and got the Soul Stone, can Red Skull leave now?
Nope. Remember he said he tethered to that. He there forever because of what he tried to do with the Tesseract. That's his punishment.
I bet he gonna get out that bitch at some point. There's gonna be a way. He's gonna get out that bitch at some point. I'm just saying. Then we got okay, so got all the fast forward. Let's see.
Get all the stone.
Yeah, they got all the stones. They made a gauntlet out of one of Iron Man's gauntlets, but pretty much. It was like an iron gauntlet, pretty much, made from like Tony
Nanotech.
Nanotech, yep. And so they was trying to decide on who wanted to put it on, or who's gonna put it on.
Oh,
Thor was trying to do it.
Missing.
What's up?
Crucial part we missed.
What's up?
Okay, Nebula.
Nebula.
Setbacks when they went back to get the Power Stone.
And we missed the Cap America Easter eggs too.
Oh yeah, the elevator scene. So
elevator scene, and Tony talking to his daddy.
Yeah, Tony talking to his dad.
And we got to see a cameo of Jarvis.
Yeah, we started
to watch Agent Carter.
Well, yeah, if you watch Agent Carter, you kind of saw that's where Jarvis came from. It was just, and the funny thing is, that character is the only character that came from an actual Marvel show that made it into Endgame. That made it into these Infinity. Everybody else that was in these shows didn't even make it into it.
Did y'all see the original Ant-Man helmet from the comic book?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That was pretty cool.
What was also clever is the fact that they went back and got more Pym Prodigal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because they was about to run out, so they knew where
And then
to
don't
get.
that make you think? Like, think about the very beginning of Ant-Man when he was like, "So y'all trying to steal my research?" When he found some more, and think about it, it was he went to Stark at the beginning of Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, and he was like, he don't know what he's talking about. But he was in the office. He was also in the office because he's the one that found Tony in there.
Telling you, man, some of these timelines kind of crossed before. Just saying.
That's crazy. See, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, me neither. The first time here.
Look, man. 22 movies, you're not gonna remember everything.
Right?
Oh no, you definitely not gonna remember everything. Not at all. But yeah, then we had so we basically
the Russo brothers don't even remember everything.
No. But basically with before they got all the stones together, we did get some Easter egg type stuff. So we did get we got almost the same scene from Winter Soldier, with him in the elevator with the at the time they didn't know they were Hydra at the time. And so he was trying to get the other stone from basically the secret Hydra agent that were acting as SHIELD agents. And so being that Cap kind of knew what they were already, said Hail Hydra. And so we had a Captain America versus Captain America battle, which was basically kind of like an Easter egg to what's the story? I actually read this comic when come to find out that Captain America was a sleeper agent for Hydra.
The Hydra, yeah.
I can't even think of the name of the actual comic because I did read that. So we had that battle, and they got into a tussle over that, and then the 2019 Captain America, what he did was told him that Buck is alive, and then that made him
get distracted.
Get distracted and kind of lax up, and he hit him with a Tesseract and knocked him out. So I wanted. Well, I guess like you said, I guess that doesn't really.
No, Stark had the Tesseract. He had the Soul Stone.
Soul Stone.
Not the Soul Stone. The Mind Stone.
Mind Stone. Okay, the Mind Stone. Yeah, I can forget that it was. I couldn't remember when in the movie. I couldn't remember.
And Tony went after the spaceman.
Yeah. Let's see. Then after, I guess you could say, the whole Tony part wasn't too pivotal. It was just really just him. It was just really kind of like a reunion with him and his father that he.
No, I think it was pivotal because he finally got an understanding of his father.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He understood that his father really did love him. He just wasn't being a hard ass on him his whole life. He got some closure.
Clarity.
He got clarity and closure.
Yeah, he got clarity and closure on that part.
And he needed that before his death scene.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody gets back. So we like we said, Nebula. They actually captured Nebula from the present, and Thanos found out through the Nebula of the past through like a. I guess I forget, it was something that.
How did her synced with her future?
So this is what I'm thinking. Nebula is a cybernetic being, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing one of her eyes does record stuff. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but like when future Nebula went back to the past, she ended up on the same. It's basically like a network. She ended up on the same network as present Nebula, and they ended up linking up, and that's why they were able to see, because it's just like two computer programs clashing, and just one ended up being dominant, which would be the more aggressive Nebula that ended up being dominant, which was the Nebula still under Thanos' control.
Yeah.
Okay, you're making sense now because she did become more advanced over the years from just that one movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he kept like freaking, breaking off body parts and replacing them with machinery and other stuff like that. So yeah.
No, he stopped there. I'm talking about her herself. She does her own upgrades.
Yeah, she got more advanced technology, but she also became more docile. She wasn't as aggressive as her previous self was.
Yeah.
If you look at both Nebulas, the one that was still under Thanos' control was a better fighter than the one that was from the future. She was more aggressive. She didn't have that love in her heart like she had in the future.
Right.
Her losing Nebula humanized her. I mean, her losing Gamora humanized her a whole lot.
Yeah. All right. So basically, we got 2014 Nebula as basically a spy when they come back, put the stones and all that stuff together. And so basically, 2014 Nebula hacks the machine to get Thanos into the present day with his ships and everything. And
they do the snap, bring everybody back, but they don't show up.
Yeah, they end up showing. Well, Hulk ends up being the one that does the snap because he's the one that can take it. Thor was wanting to be, but with Thor's physique and condition, if it was Thor from Infinity War, yes, he would have been able to take the snap. He would have been able to do the snap. I don't think Fat Thor probably would have killed himself doing that snap.
Yeah,
he was an emotional wreck.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to handle it. So Professor Hulk was the most qualified candidate to do that, to take that.
Fat Thor was the epitome of self-pity when you fail.
Yeah. But in the sense as well, though, it's like there was a part of me when you think about that with him, 5 years later becoming fat, but it's like you didn't really fail, dude. You got him. You failed the first time, yes.
That's what was bothering him. He failed the first time, and Thanos destroyed the stone, so they couldn't bring everybody back.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of like what kind of really did it. But I was like, dang, like, dude, okay, you got the stones back. Get yourself back in shape. Just saying. Then we also had we had the snap, of course. Then Thanos uses his ship, freaking destroys Avengers headquarters with everybody in it. Tony, Thor, and Iron Man, they regroup and they get ready to go at it with Thanos.
And War Machine.
And War Machine was still trying to get out of the rubble and trying to say
War Machine was down there with Hulk and Rocket.
Yeah.
And who thought somebody was going to die because of that blast?
You said who?
That blast took out majority of their whole freaking area. I thought somebody was going to die.
Yeah, I kind of did it.
I actually thought Clint had died because I thought Ant-Man had died because he was right there in the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he did catch most of the blast. He was right there at the window.
I think like the person that caught most of the blast was probably I want to say Clint, but Clint was pretty much alright. It felt like it was mostly.
I think he was fast enough to shrink himself down before it,
Yeah, Rhodey had to get out of his suit. He was receiving more damage than anybody.
He was hauling canopy so he can get out of the suit. Yeah. So we had that, but then the most iconic part. Well, not yet. Not the most iconic part just yet. But the boy Thor freaking turns into a freaking
Viking Thor.
I guess it was like Viking Thor.
All right, so real talk. Thor been walking around with sweats on all day, looking like somebody middle-aged daddy. Let's get
this straight. The Big Lebowski. He loved it the whole movie.
He been looking like he been through a divorce. He lost his job.
He been drinking.
He been drinking the whole movie basically.
And
like Thor looked like he was thrown away. Like Thor looked like he went back to his 30-year class reunion. He was the hot guy, the star quarterback, and he went back to his 30-year class reunion, and all the girls raising their nose up at him like, huh?
What happened?
That's who?
You done let yourself go.
But yeah, so we got that form of Thor, and then we got Thor with two hammers. It's like, I mean, well, it's hammer and what you call it, Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
So we had that. They go at it. They all go at it with Thanos. And
Fact
so,
Thor wasn't in shape to handle both of them weapons.
Bro, he was definitely not in shape to handle, because if
anyone, Thor would have gave Thanos
he would have so handled him so with ease, more likely. He was just way better. So
we had Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor versus Thanos.
Yep, and then Thanos got the best of Thor and was penetrating his armor with Stormbreaker, about to kill him, and he reaches his hand out, calling for the hammer, which in retrospect you was thinking that he probably was gonna just smack him in the face with the hammer, but when he has his hand out, the hammer passes Thor and goes straight into Captain America's hand.
And that's what wasn't no funny. Like dude that plays Thor has like the funniest way he says yes. Like
Chris Hemsworth.
It's so Viking like. I'm just saying. He's like, yes, I knew it. Hey, Joe.
Man. Everybody, what was y'all theater
Cap
reaction when this scene happened? Like, everybody was getting up.
I almost ran through the theater. I know I jumped out of my seat. I scared my kids.
Nobody got up in our theater.
It was, I think, popcorn was thrown everywhere. Everybody got out of their seat and was screaming.
Like my thing when we went, the theater was like the quietest I've ever heard the theater for a 3-hour movie. But like when that scene happened, when Cap got the hammer, it's just like everybody simultaneously just said no, like that. So
the F.
It was dope though, man. That was a dope scene.
Oh, and then when he started just two-piecing this boy with hammer, shield, it's like,
But then Thanos broke that shield on him though, man.
Man, was that? I don't think that shield he gave him made out of vibranium, dog.
Nah, that was a vibranium shield.
That was made out of something else. Tony, where you get this from?
But
you got this from the collector, bro.
He was breaking that shield, man, like it was paper.
That was breaking like a tortilla chip.
But but Thanos broke his shield in the comic book too. So
that's true.
That's another Easter egg too.
Yeah. So after that, with him breaking his shield, Cap
Ant-Man grows big.
Well, Cap first he picked up his shield because his shield had kind of fell off his arm. He tightened up his shield and he was like, "Let's go." And Thanos calls out Chitauri, Outriders, the Black Order. Everybody gets off the freaking ship, and it's just this shot of Captain America standing there by himself,
everything
going against the entire, basically Thanos' entire family, pretty much. And
let me throw this break in right here. That scene right there is. I saw that scene twice this weekend. I also saw that scene in Game of Thrones too. One man standing against a million enemies.
No. Just keep going.
Oh, I forgot you started watching it. My bad.
Keep on Avengers, bro. I heard this several times that these two things drove very much parallel in the same weekend. Surprisingly,
yes, greatest weekend in entertainment history. Greatest.
Oh, goodness.
Continue.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Well, Falcon says on your left, which is reference back to Winter Soldier? Yeah, Winter Soldier when they were running around the base.
Yeah,
man.
And
that's when
the portals opened up.
Yeah, that's portals opened up. That's Sorcerer Supreme. Doctor Strange being God because he just released the whole military.
I was surprised when I saw. I knew Black Panther was gonna bring all the tribes of Wakanda, but when Doctor Strange brought all the wizards, bro, I was like,
yes, everybody. They brought all of because remember the Snap brought back Asgardians too. They brought back everybody, man.
Yeah, they brought Asgardian, bro. Even for those who don't, bro, even Howard the Duck was in this. Which and I hope they never.
He just a wasted character, a whole wasted character.
Like we don't really need an explanation. We know who Howard the Duck is.
I'm just saying we get y'all put Howard the Duck. What happened to Luke Cage? Jessica Jones?
I would think that they in some type of contract negotiations or something going on where it was something with the contracts, because it would have been so dope to see Iron Fist, Luke Cage, all of them in there. But I think it's something. But like when everybody came in, because they would have the way they set up different scenes, they would have showed the Defenders. But what's the all girl group called for Marvel? The A-Force or something like that.
That's it.
They did do a glimpse of like all women, going in.
Yeah, they showed that. Oh, because past Gamora joined the good side.
Yeah.
Slap Wheel.
Man.
Hit Wheel.
Man, Scarlet Witch, when she came in on Thanos, bro, I'm like, she came in like a house of fire, bro. I'm like, this is like House of M.
She cold lines. He was like, I don't even know you. She said, you will. Scarlet Witch showed why she's so important, because she showed that she was like basically stronger than all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, she did. She definitely did.
Like she was but you know what I said? I said they always say this. Nothing is more dangerous than a woman scorned.
Yep. You killed that man, and she was out for your head, bro.
I was surprised Vision didn't come back though. That's who I thought they was gonna bring back too. But I guess the way he died,
he wasn't affected by the snap. It was he was killed because they took the stone out of him. Then we had like the Easter eggs.
That's what WandaVision gonna be, because that's the whole Disney show, WandaVision. So
in the Vision, I
wonder it's
gonna be pre. I wonder it's gonna be post or after.
I think it's pre Infinity Wars when they was when they was on the run. Yeah, when they went on the run. Okay. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Okay. Let me see. Then we also had the scene with the Easter egg of one, because Ronan, also known as Hawkeye, was running with the gun and running from Outriders, got out to the field, and then they were basically playing hot potato to keep the gun away from Thanos, because he was trying to get the gauntlet. They gave it to Black Panther, which is the Easter egg of
Yes,
Black Panther used to wield the gauntlet.
Give it to me.
Give it to me.
And then
touching
it over
scene.
to Spider-Man.
Before we get to Spidey, touching scene when Tony saw Peter.
Yeah.
He was just talking.
He was just talking. Tony just, man, just give me hugs, man. I missed you, boy. That's basically what that was. It was like, I missed you, son.
Yep. So then we got that part, and then I'm skipping some parts more. I'm just going off what I recall in my head right now. Then we had the intro of Captain Marvel.
No, Thanos said fire everything.
Yeah.
And he was what's his Squidward was like, what about our troops? And Thanos just like dun 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 dun.
Forget him.
Forget him. But yes, then Captain Marvel flew in, coming in like a bright light. Yep. Come there and
he's like, what they shooting at?
She destroyed the ship.
Just going straight through it.
Yes. Like I can't say she OP, because
she
like in the
is,
comic
bro.
book, like in the comic book, she she tough too.
Yeah.
But like just seeing it visually, it looks like she just like super OP.
Yeah.
Because when she started fighting Thanos, like it feel like this Thanos is more OP than Infinity Wars Thanos.
I know. Because he freaking straight up, like, the part where when he's about to snap, she grabs his hand and catches him before he tries to snap. When he gets the gauntlet on his hand, he headbutts and she looks at him like, nope.
Like, try again, mother sucker.
Yeah, so then you have that, and then he basically gets a power stone out and punches her straight in the face, and she flies, into the crowd where everybody else is. Then
Tony grabs his hand with the gauntlet on
Tony
it.
grabs his hand, and then he tries to do the snap, and nothing happens.
All right, so check this out. Did y'all think Tony just grabbed one stone?
No, I think he.
No, I was thinking like, oh, he just got one stone just to stop him from making the snap. But when they cut the scene to him, he got all 5 stones that'll take in action, making a gauntlet on his hand, and
Doctor Strange just straight up.
He looks at him and he just throws up a 1. Because Tony had asked him previously, we skipped that part, like, you said it was only one way we win this, how's that? And Dr. Strange said, if I tell you, it won't happen. Had he told Tony what to do, Tony would have hesitated and never did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So he kind of knew it was on him at that point.
Yeah.
But I think Tony knew though, because he had a thing anyway.
Yeah, he had a vision. I don't think not about himself dying, but he had the vision about in Ultron about the whole thing with Thanos too with the stones. But yeah, so Tony does the snap, gets rid of all the Thanos' troops. Everybody gets dusted away, and of course, the recourse of doing the snap.
You pretty much burn half your body off.
And it killed Iron Man.
And he already got a weak heart.
Yeah, he already had a weak heart too. Yeah.
But.
Come on, team.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just like that also was sad when Peter was trying to get him to wake up. It was just like
that was the part that I kind of like. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like
eyes watered up.
Yeah, eyes watered up on that one, bro.
Yeah, because it was like reverse of Infinity Wars where Peter was talking about, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good and stuff like that. Yep. So it was reversed, and he was like, oh, man, God. Then Pepper come over there. She's so strong in the moment. You like, damn, I ain't got a wife like that.
But yeah, so we got that, and that happened. So let's fast forward to the funeral part of and it basically did a kind of like I don't know what to call it, the type of shot that they did, but it was kind of like a rundown of all the different the teams and all that stuff of the Avengers and stuff like that, the Guardians of the Galaxy. You had Black Panther and his sister and what's her name?
Black Panther, Shuri, and
Shuri
and his mama Ramonda.
Yeah. But then also a lot of people ask about the shot with what's his name, Harley, which Harley he's the kid from Iron Man 3,
right?
And so here's my theory about this whole thing. This is what I want to kind of bring up. They left Easter eggs, 2 Easter eggs prior to showing him. And the 2 things the first 2 have in common is Young Avengers. Because Hawkeye is a Young Avenger. So is I forgot what they call it, Stature, which is Ant-Man's daughter. And Harley, the theory is that Harley, because in the comics there is a Iron Lad in Young Avengers as well.
Yeah. We didn't touch on the fact that Pepper had on her iron suit.
Yeah, rescue. Yeah, she had on rescue.
And her suit is actually very clean.
Yes, it very much is. Yeah, I was pretty shocked when they did that pullback shot
That
and
back
showed her
to
in the suit.
that back-to-back scene with her and Tony, that was dope too.
Yes, that was very dope. So we had that, and then
Also, I'm still.
Hologram Tony, you don't think he going nowhere?
I know,
I
right?
don't think he going nowhere.
I don't either.
That was just the touching point to, I believe Riri Williams will be in this next phase. I'm like, my gut is for one, they never showed Tony's body. For two, in Riri Williams' issue, they say he's dead throughout the whole issue, but at the very last issue of Riri Williams' comic, he was lost somewhere in a coma. But Tony was Riri's Jarvis. He was basically, because his nanotech developed his conscience inside the computer. That's the whole origin of Riri Williams. Like, she was the So
check this out. The whole Avengers MCU thing, it's been two iron bodies basically. Yeah. So them showing Harley, and they can do Iron Lad and Iron Heart.
Yep.
So they already started Champions. It's right there. It's right there.
Yep.
I'm saying that's Phase 4 and Phase 5.
So we didn't get an end credit scene, of course. So does anybody else have any other theories before we? Because of course we got also just to give you guys a heads up, like we said before in the beginning of the show, we're doing a show at Comic Palooza on that Saturday, and we'll be talking more about the MC. It's entitled Nerdflow Podcast, the MCU and Beyond. So we're gonna be talking about a lot more future stuff, especially like stuff like what Sing was talking about with Riri Williams and a bunch of stuff, just theories of where we feel like it's gonna go with the timeline of all the movies and stuff like that. So did anybody have anything else that we wanted to touch on about Endgame before we wrap this spoiler cast?
Nah, I just feel like the next chapter needs to be Galactus. We had Thanos. The only way you can follow up Thanos is with Galactus.
Yeah, you gotta follow with somebody really big. Because I honestly thought, like, before we hit, I actually really thought when I saw what happened in the very beginning of Endgame, I almost kind of thought for a quick second that, oh, Thanos ain't the bad guy in this one. It's gonna be somebody else. For a whole second, I really did think that for a good minute. I did. Let me
tell y'all something. All right, so Galactus is attracted to cosmic energy. That's why I'm feeling like he's the next big bad guy. They used the snap twice on Earth.
Yeah, and the energy and they did say that energy goes across the
solar out to the solar system. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So Galactus or the Silver Surfer probably picked up on that cosmic energy. Because
they did it in a total. If you count
4 times.
No, Thanos did. He said he did it to get rid of the stone, so he did it twice, and then they snapped.
They did it twice on Earth.
They did it twice on Earth.
4 times.
I thought it was 5. I don't know why I thought it was 5.
It was 4 times.
4 times.
Okay. That's why Disney was so adamant. I feel like that's why they were so adamant about acquiring Fox. They knew for the Marvel universe. They knew that's what Endgame. The way they was writing Endgame. They knew what they had to follow it up with.
Yeah, they know they got to follow it up with. For sure.
Now that they got, okay, I'm all for Avengers versus X-Men. I'm all for it. But, y'all need to start working on Fantastic Four and do it the right way. And because once you bring in the Fantastic Four and you bring in some of the X-Men, the universe expands indefinitely.
Yeah, that's true. True that. All right, man. We're gonna
get ready. Real Mandarin and everything. Because the Mandarin fought the Fantastic Four a lot too.
Yeah, he did. All All right, man. We're gonna get ready to end this issue 100 of Nerd.
Oh,
Podcast.
question.
Yeah.
My question. To all the Nerdful listeners and you guys, and I want your opinions before we leave off of here. For $15 million, would you kill John Wick's dog?
No, I don't need that big.
I don't need them type of my life. No, I don't need them type of my life.
Said. Said just being quiet. Take that as a no.
Say like no, I'm good.
Bruh, a ballpoint pen? I don't think so.
That's all I wanted to know.
All right, man. So we're gonna end up wrapping this issue of Nerd Flow. We'll catch you guys on next week for 101, and we'll catch you guys also next week on next Saturday when we do the live from Comic Palooza 2019. We out.
One.
Peace.
All right, let me cut that one.